Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Christina, and in today's video we're making a simple lasagna recipe. Alright, so let's get into the video. Alright, let's go through the ingredients that we'll be using. Alright, so we're using ground beef, chicken ham, tomatoes that I freshly chopped, onions, garlic, parsley, Mrs. Dash seasoning, tomato paste. I have in that container seasoned salt, garlic powder, black pepper, and rosemary. We're also using tomato sauce, 2 packets of cream cheese, Parmesan cheese, box of lasagna noodles, and 3 different types of cheeses. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, first we're going to be adding some salt to a pot of water, and we're going to put that on to boil our noodles. So add in a little bit of oil so our noodles don't stick together. So we're going to put a pot with oil on high heat. So what we'll be doing now, we'll be frying up our minced beef and our chicken ham. Alright, so as you can see, I'm just using the spoon to break up the minced beef. So now we're adding our chicken ham to the minced beef, and we're going to fry them both together until they're golden brown. So we'll also be adding our onion, so while it's frying and getting all brown, it will give this rich flavor of seasoning. To mix it all together properly so that the onion gets into every little bit of the meat. Guys, so now we're adding in our powdered seasoning, or seasoned salt, rosemary, black pepper, garlic powder, and the Mrs. Dash seasoning. Also adding in some chopped garlic, boiling water is ready for our noodles, so we're going to put them in one by one. And as you can see, some of them are a little bit broken, but we'll have to make do with what we have, because that's how it came in the package. Alright, so it's going to be in the water until it's al dente. So read the package on your pasta box to tell you how long you should cook your noodles for. Alright, so what we're doing now, we're mixing our sauce in with our meat that has already been cooked. And we're going to make sure that we mix everything together, and then also we'll be adding our tomato paste at this point. mixing that together as well, we're going to be adding our chopped tomatoes and garlic. We're going to mix everything together, get it all incorporated, and we're going to add some seasoning to our sauce because we have to have seasoning. This is the base of the lasagna, right? Alright, so what I've done here is I've put some water in the jar that I had the sauce in earlier to make sure I get every bit of the sauce out of the jar. So shake the jar up with the water and we're going to pour it into the pot so that we can have a lot of sauce to have the meat simmer into, right? The sauce come together and boil for a while, just a quick little second or two, and then we're going to add our parsley flakes, and then we're going to leave it to simmer for about 30 minutes. Alright, so we're checking to make sure that our noodles are ready and cooked and not sticking together. So we're just checking on our meat sauce, and I'm going to be adding a scotch bonnet pepper to just give it a little bit of heat. I'm letting it stay in for about 3 to 5 minutes, then I'm going to take it out because we don't want it to be too peppery. So we're just pouring out our noodles into our strainer, and we're going to run some cold water over it so we can stop the cooking process. So seeing that our meat is finished, what we're going to work on now would be our cheese sauce that we're going to use to make the layers. We're going to be adding our 2 package of Philadelphia cream cheese and making sure that we get every last bit out of the container. Also, we're adding our different type of cheeses at this point. Just putting a little bit into this because we're also going to be using the same cheese to add additional layers in the lasagna. Alright, so all 3 cheeses have been added, and lastly we're adding some Parmesan to this mixture. Alright, go ahead and smash everything together. I wish the cream cheese was a little bit softer. It would have been better to mix it all together, but I did end up getting it to come together in the end. So have your cream cheese stay out a little bit longer so it can get softer than how mine was. We're cracking 2 eggs and we're going to whisk it a bit and then add it to our cream mixture. So this is where things got a little bit complicated. Alright, so what we're doing now is we're gonna spread our meat sauce in the bottom of the pan, just so that everything can come together nicely and the noodles don't stick to the bottom of the pan. Alright, don't be stingy with this meat sauce that is layering the bottom, because this is going to help it not to stick. So when I was layering the lasagna, this is when I realized that the noodles were longer than the container I had. But as you can see, when I'm layering it, you will see how I layer and improvise while going through the process. Alright guys, so when you're making your lasagna noodles, make sure you count the amount of layers you want, because when I was finished cooking my noodles, I had more noodles than I actually needed. Alright, so as you can see, as I mentioned before, the layers of the lasagna noodles are longer than the actual container. So what I'll be doing is I'll be spreading the cheese under the flop, if that makes sense. But you will see how I do it while I'm layering each piece, and then after the first layer, then the process remains the same, and then we'll just move forward to the last layer to show you how I do the last layer. In total, I had 3 layers. So the meat goes first, and spread a generous amount. Make sure that you get under the little flops of noodles and get everything all combined. The meat sauce smells so good. So now we're adding our layer of cheese. What I started to do in the other layers was I started to spread the cheese out a bit so that it doesn't come out in big chunks of cheese, which I would like, but maybe other persons who's having it may not like it that way. So I started to spread out the cheese in the other layer. We're adding additional cheese, sprinkling each pack of cheese I had earlier onto this base and making sure that I go under each flop. Alright guys, so this is the last layer, and as you can see, I'm putting 4 strips instead of 3 that I had initially at the bottom, and I've changed how I'm layering it because of the type of cheese style I have. So I'm going to be spreading the cheese all along the noodles. Alright? Yeah, I'm kind of spreading it out all along each noodle. Next, we're adding the meat sauce, and we're gonna do the same thing. Spread it all along each layer, and then I'm using the back of the spoon to just spread each meat sauce out so it will come together nicely. Now we're just gonna layer the top with lots and lots of cheese. Alright, so sprinkle all the cheese that you have. Well, you can never have too much cheese, I guess, on the top, and then we're gonna put it in the oven. But just look how amazing it is just off the bat. adding your layers of cheese until you're completely done. Lastly, we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of parsley on top to give the pop of color and taste. Alright guys, I've also used a kitchen scissors to just snip the little lasagna ends that you see sticking out at the sides. Alright, so this is how it looks before it goes into the oven, and it bakes for 45 minutes on 350 degrees Celsius. And trust me guys, this is the finished product, and you want to let it sit for about half an hour so that everything comes together and sets firm, because if you cut into it too soon, it will fall apart. Now look how amazing it is. You can see each layer and it with cheese and everything. Guys, you have to try it. Thanks again guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you're notified every time I post another video. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye guys.